Welcome. It's 6:30 on the dot. We'll get going. Appreciate you being here tonight. Uh, this is the live training webinar number 2. We'll probably be doing 4 of these in total, 5 if we need to. For those that are listening, I know some of you are listening on your phone on your way back from work. I got a couple of emails. This will be recorded, and we'll be placing this in the membership area as soon as possible. Should be up this weekend for sure, and we'll put a notification out on the Facebook group and when the recording is available. But I appreciate you guys being with us. Dawn and I have kind of been under the weather since about December 26th, but we're starting to feel better. I'm about 85% now, so that's a good thing. Here's the number one concept that I want to communicate to you, and I really, really want you to feel this and understand it to the very best of your ability. And as you go through some of the other trainings from some of the people that are a lot smarter than I am, and some of the guys from Yale and Harvard that we have in the membership area for you, all of this is going to come together for you. And the main way it's going to come together for you is through personal experience. But the number one thing that I want to communicate is that the only thing, if all things are equal from last year, 2016, the only thing that can keep 2017 from being a year you will never forget is you. The only thing that can keep this year from being one, like I will never forget 1983 when I first went through this program. I put it together. This was way before I ever shared it with anybody, but when I did it for myself, I will never forget that year because a couple of things came together for me at the same time. But it was understanding two things. It was understanding mindsets and programming at a different level and doing something about it to consciously, daily make a difference. And it was understanding numbers. And the name of the game is in network marketing is sorting through people. Amateurs trying to convince professionals sort. You got to get through the numbers. And the law of averages works for everybody. The law of averages works for everybody, the numbers aspect. And this all came within a few months of each other in 1983 for me. So I am beyond fired up. And I just want to encourage you, even if you half believe what we're saying, even if you only believe it, well, if you believed it less than half, you wouldn't be here. But those people just let it go by. And to me, that's just devastating. It's sad to think that people had the opportunity to get plugged into this and let it pass through their fingers. It's devastating to me. But you know what is even more devastating? Is people that are got it, they've got access to the information, and they're not going to put it into action. That's what blows my mind. That's what's the most devastating for me. So I just want to encourage, this is really the main thing I wanted to say. I'm going to cover 3 other things with you tonight. And I know a lot of you are, most of you are. But there's some that are not. And if you haven't yet, start tomorrow or start tonight. But there's nothing that you can do. You've got 14 hours of free time each day. If you have 10 hours wrapped up in your business or your work day or whatever you're doing, if you got an hour getting there and you spend 8 hours, you got an hour coming back, okay, there's 14 discretionary hours of free time that you have each day. Say, well, Dale, I have to sleep some. Okay, well, take the sleep out, however many hours you have left. Is there anything that's more important for you to do on a daily basis than taking 15 minutes, 5, 5, and 5, however you want to do it, and reading those affirmations and reading the scroll and spending 15, 20 minutes a day, 10 minutes, whatever it takes? They only got to read the scroll twice yesterday. That's okay. You did it twice. But doing, and what I do, honestly, guys, since I've already done this a couple of times, is I read the scrolls in the morning, the scroll number 1, I'm on it with you guys, and I read my affirmations, a group of affirmations at noon and a group of affirmations at night. That's what I'm doing. The more you can do it, if you can do it all your affirmations and the scroll 3 times a day, you're just going to be way ahead of the game. And that's what I did the first time when we put all this together. But there's nothing you can do. And see, here's the thing. If you're having trouble following through with this program, it's not a time management issue. It's a limiting belief issue. I don't know what the limiting belief is. For some people, I do know. It's, I have to remove it. This program removes all excuses. And some people are not comfortable with that. We all know hypochondriacs. Every time you're around them, they're talking about their sniffles or their whatever. And, I rarely am sick. And again, Dawn and I have had a major bug virus, and it's like, it's just, we're not used to this. But hypochondriacs are always talking about their back aches, their toe, is leaking fluid or whatever. And we all have people. I have a family member like that. I mean, you can guarantee every time you're around her, the first thing she's going to talk about is what's ever aching or dripping or whatever. And it's been that way my whole life. Okay, and she wouldn't know how to live without that in her life. Some people don't know how to function without limiting beliefs. And that's sad, because this program will kick those limiting beliefs to the curb and replace them with empowering beliefs. And guys, please commit to yourself. I needed to give you an update on the book, so that's why I put this slide in. I talked to the it's called a company, it's called Executive Books. I talked to her yesterday, and they had the books on their way from the printer, and she said the UPS tracking, they've lost the books, they can't find them, they've contacted UPS, and they're trying to locate them. So I'm hoping, guys, that we'll have them in our Kentucky office. I'm hoping, within the next few days, and we'll get them out to you just as soon as we get them. But the scrolls themselves are in your members area. And again, I just wanted to remind you guys, when you go and log into the members area right here, you can get the scrolls. And scroll number 1, and again, it's all right there for you. I wanted to cover a couple of things here. Some of you are kind of confused with all this information. Do I do this? Do I do this? Do I watch this? The original program is all right here under this first button. That's the program. All the rest of this pretty much is just additional complementary information. And your forms that go with the program, obviously there, and then like this webinar that we're doing tonight will be under here. The first one's already there. Then we got bonus videos and just other information that's just, the purpose of this is just to reinforce the original course, which is right here. As I run across other information, I'll be adding to this for years, because this is a topic that is probably the most interesting thing in the world for me as a human individual. I just love this type of information, because when I found out that I didn't have to live the rest of my life with the limiting beliefs that I had at that point in 1983, it changed everything. And again, I'll tell you the whole story one day, but I honestly believe that it saved my life, the foundational systems that were developed. I truly do. But so everything's here, focus here. Some people are getting confused and we're getting questions. Well, Dale, which link am I supposed to click on, and what am I supposed to watch first? It's all right here. That's the original course. There's the forms. If you go straight down like this, you'll be in good shape. 3 concepts I just want to share with you tonight. And concept 1 is to understand this is not a motivational program. Okay, it is motivational, but it's not about motivation. Okay, the goal is not to read the scroll or, watch one of these doctors or read something here or watch some of these bonus videos and get motivated, even though that will happen. But the goal of this program is literally to create new brain cell patterns that automatically create internal motivation, mindsets, and patterns that will ultimately create whatever success is for you. And it's different for all of us, depending upon where we are in our life. But it will create whatever is success for you in whatever area of life that you want to create it. And again, we're all different. And again, success is living your life working towards worthy goals. Once you reach those goals, you're no longer a success unless you set new ones. So it's a constant evolution. I mean, some of you are thinking, Dale, if I can make 6 figures a month or 6 figures a year in my business and not have a boss, my life would be set. Some of you thinking, Dale, if I can make $1,000 extra a month in my business, my life would be set. Some of you thinking, Dale, if I could create $1 million a year income, my life would be set. Some of you thinking, Dale, if I could create $10 million, $15 million, $22 million, if I could, everybody's different. And wherever you get where you're going, then you have the opportunity, if you choose, and you have to always move forward at some level. You cannot stay still, because that's an illusion. You will be going backwards when you stop. So you have to be moving forward. It's just how much momentum and energy are you using in the process, but you have to move forward. But the goal is, again, to create the patterns that will be with you for the rest of your life. And you can even expand those and make those greater and make those larger. You can do whatever you choose to do at whatever level that you want. And again, we're not just talking about business, we're talking about family, we're talking about your physical well-being, we're talking about social, whatever levels of whatever you want to do. But the main point here, concept 1, this is not a motivational program. People are getting motivated going through this, and I love your all's comments on the Facebook page. Please keep those coming. And if you haven't done yours yet, if you haven't shared with people, if you haven't at least introduced yourself, why not? You got to participate in this, guys. You have to participate, and that's part of it. 2, 30-second commercial. A 30-second commercial is kind of like an affirmation. I think it came from the book The Magic of Thinking Big. I don't really recall, but it's just basically, this is my 30-second commercial today. Okay, when I first started, obviously it wasn't this, because I was building a network marketing organization when I first started. So my 30-second commercial is just, hey, hi Dale Calvert, I want you to meet Dale Calvert. Everything Dale does is successful because he knows when you provide real value, success is always the byproduct. He and his team run a $10 million a year consulting, training, and seminar company. They also develop and sell million-dollar web businesses on an ongoing basis while they are constantly staying ahead of business trends they can participate in. That's my 30-second commercial. So your 30-second commercial is almost like this is where I'm going, this is where I'm headed, and it's like a fire yourself up, pep rally, pep talk. That would be a good description. It's a pep talk. It's a 30-second pep talk that you tell yourself every day, and you start it, and I don't know why, I can't remember why, subconsciously, when I first started doing this and when I first read about it, it's always, hi Dale Calvert, I want you to meet Dale Calvert. And you do say this out loud. I don't know why. I don't question people that are a lot smarter than I am. I just do it. So that's the 30-second commercial. We've had a couple of questions about that. That's the second thing I want to share with you. The third thing tonight that we haven't really talked about, some of you I know have done, some of you haven't. I didn't talk about this in the original training. I've added this to the original training. I believe it's solid. I'm going to talk more about this probably in the next training, about this concept of the wheel of life. But there's basically 7 key areas of life: physical, mental, family, financial, career, spiritual, social. 7 key areas of life. And my affirmations, I'll share with you probably the next training that we do live, are how would my life look if I was living as high as I can perceive at this point in time in my life in these 7 areas: physically, mentally, family, financial, career, spiritual, social. They're all important. Some are more important to others than they are others. We all have priorities, but we cannot neglect one area without it affecting other areas. They all kind of work together. That's why it's called the wheel. And there's some people that are totally into the physical. They're working out 17 hours a day or whatever. I mean, they're in the gym. They're just pumping iron. They're totally into running and walking and triathlons and all that, and that's their world. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're totally into that and you're neglecting the other key areas of life, then your wheel's going to be lopsided. Some people are totally into their career and what they're building. And most of you are network marketers, and you're about building your team and about creating leaders and creating real customers, and you're focused on developing solid businesses. And, that takes the majority of your day, the majority of your free time if you're part-time. Many of you are full-time. But again, if you're focused on just your career 24/7, and you gotta take a look, guys, at every aspect of your life. It's all important. If you're going to be out of balance in one area, my suggestion would be out of balance spiritually. But try to live a balanced life. And again, I'm going to talk more in detail about this in the next training. So that's really what I wanted to cover with you guys. I didn't want to take a lot of your time. The main thing that I wanted to say, and I wanted everybody to hear, is if your 2017 is not one of the very best years of your life and your business and your life, if it's not one of the very best you can ever remember, it will only be because that you did not plug into what's right here in front of you. It's going to make an impact. It's already making an impact for many of you, but it's going to make an impact. It just does. It cannot not happen. Just like you will go to your grave, if I say the home of, what is it, falling prices, lowering prices, whatever it is. If I say 2 all beef patty special sauce, you know exactly what I'm talking about, a Big Mac. You know, and again, I'm not going to go through that whole training again, guys, but repetition is the mother of learning. That's how we're programmed. So it doesn't matter if you believe it or not. If you do it, it's still going to take effect. Write your 30-second commercial. I shared with you mine, and then create 7 affirmations based upon the 7 key areas of life. And just if you want to write these down real quick again, let me show you, because I know people ask. There they are. You can write that down real quick, and we will have this replay up for you as soon as possible. Physical, mental, family, financial, career, spiritual, social. Last thing I want to just ask you again, a lot of you are in this group every day, leaving comments, sharing that, hey, I went through my scrolls today, some questions, but this is important. Participate, encourage, because understand, you know, there are people that are in this group that are watching. They're watching. They may pick up their affirmations and go buy some postcards and pick up the book and start reading the scrolls 3 months from now. 3 months from now. Everybody has different limiting beliefs, different circumstances. And if you're one of the people that are participating and moving forward and excited, share that. You should feel obligated to share that, because I can tell you without question, for some people, this is just way too much. It's like, whoa. It's almost like, oh, Dale, this is out on a limb stuff. Look, I don't believe in all that. Shirley MacLaine, out on a limb. Some of you do. They're with us, and fine, that's your belief. I don't. I don't. I just believe that as human beings, our brain has been made a certain way. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It's wisdom of the ages. That's where I live. That's what I believe. And all we are doing is hacking, for lack of a better word, our own subconscious, conscious mind. Maximizing what's been given to us. That's what we're doing. So it's not out on a limb. It's not, you know, if you just think about it, it all comes together. No, it doesn't. See, what the right brain cell patterns ultimately do, this is important, and I'm going to let you go. What the right brain cell patterns ultimately do, the right programs, they produce the right actions. Knowledge without action leads to self-delusion. So the right brain cell patterns over time create the right actions, and the right actions Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. And the right actions done the correct way over a period of time creates results. Consistent effort doesn't always create consistent results, but it always creates success. So you get the right programming, produces the right action, which over time guaranteed to produce the right results. Because why? Because the law of averages works for everybody. And that's good stuff. I would have paid a lot of money for that. I appreciate you guys. I felt better just because I got to feel like I was talking to you guys. And I appreciate you more than you know. I'll see some of you. I'm going to be, open to network marketers. I will be, where am I going? I'm going to be in Florida this month, and I'm also going to be in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So I look forward to seeing some of you at those events. And hopefully the Thursday night regular No Fluff webinars are going to start back a week from tonight. I've got something that I'm going to share that I've never shared that will reinforce. I'm excited about sharing it. And that's what I'm going to be doing this year. I'm not going to be doing as many Thursday night webinars because I'm getting too scattered with too many different obligations. But I just want to make sure that the time you guys spend with me is time well worth it. Have an awesome evening. And Dawn and I are actually going to get out of the house tonight for the first time in a while. And you all have a great evening, and we will talk to you soon. Hopefully the replays will be up for you within 24 hours or so. I've got one of our guys, Scott's will be working on that for you, and we'll probably put it in the members area, and probably, I think last time we put it on Facebook as well. So appreciate you guys. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, get in there. Get in there. Send myself or Dawn a friend request, and then we can get you approved. Have a good evening, guys. Talk to you soon. Good night.